All right, let's talk about file management. When you create a website or a web application, it's going to have a lot of different files that go with that project. We need to have a logical structure for these files and organize where they're going to be saved, so that when we work on our website locally on our computer, to have all those related files in a single folder, and it's going to mirror the published website file structure once it gets on the server, where it will be seen on the internet when it goes live. So the folder will contain a file always called index.html. So here is an image of what your project folder might look like. There's the index.html file, and that will be the home page of your website. If there's more than one page in our folder, other HTML files would also be at that same level as index.html. You'll also usually have 3 other folders as well: images, scripts, and styles. They don't have to be these exact names, but these are common names that are used. The images folder will have all your images that you'll use on your website or web application. The styles will contain all the CSS files, and your scripts folder will contain any JavaScript files that you might have for your website. When we talk about file management, I think most of us are familiar with the Finder window on a Mac, or maybe the Explorer window on Windows, and you'll see like your whole file structure and how you've organized your files inside of folders. That's what we mean by file management. So we're going to be doing a similar thing with the projects in this class. If I wanted a folder inside of here, the different ways to add a new folder depending on your operating system, but we can call it WDD130, and I want you to all call it this for all the projects in this class. And notice it's all lowercase with no spaces. That's how you should always name files and folders in web projects. They should all be lowercase. All your letters should be lowercase, and there shouldn't be any spaces. If you need to use an underscore or a dash, you can do that. All right, so let's all call it WDD130. For the structure of our projects, let's go into Visual Studio Code and actually see how we can do some file management in here. Let's open up that folder we just created. We can use, if you're in the Explorer tab, you can use this Open Folder button, or you can go to the File menu option and choose the Add Folder to Workspace option. And then go ahead and find that WDD130 folder and click Add. And now it should show up in your workspace, the WDD130. Let's go ahead and talk about what this folder is going to do. This is going to be just a folder that's going to contain 3 projects that we do in this class. This week it will be the About Me project. Then we'll have a water rafting project that we'll hold. And then finally in this course we'll have a personal website of your choice that you'll have a project in there. So all 3 of those projects will be inside this WDD130 folder. Now if I wanted to add a folder inside of this for the About Me project, I can use this Add New Folder icon here, or I can right click on here and say Add a New Folder, and we're going to call it About Me. And now we can start on the structure for this project. Now remember, in each project we're going to want the index.html, and we're going to want the folders that hold images or CSS sheets or JavaScript. This week we're only going to have images and your HTML. So let's go ahead now and add a file, the index.html, to this About Me folder. You can use the New File icon here, or you can right click and say New File, and we'll call it index.html. That will be the home page for our About Me project. Let's go ahead and also add a folder for the images, and we'll go ahead and call that folder Images. And again, even though we're not going to have any CSS, you might want to add a CSS folder. If I add a folder now, it's going to be a folder inside of Images, but I kind of want the styles folder to be at the same level as Images. So make sure you've got the right thing highlighted. So now if I add a folder here, I can say styles, and that's kind of the structure. Again, there's going to be nothing in styles this week, but that's how you would go ahead and make that structure for your project. And now we should be able to look on our Finder or our Explorer window, and we can now see that those actually were created in here. And we could have created them here as well, but I did want to show you how you would go ahead and start that structure inside Visual Studio Code so that you're ready to begin your first About Me project.